Hello. Hello. All right. Some technical difficulties. Can you guys hear me now? Please let me know if there is sound. It'd be very helpful. I don't know why. Okay, sound is good now. Thank you, Eternal Truth. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me back. I appreciate your patience. Beautiful. So, back to our regularly programming schedule. Just going to bring us in with a little bit of sound, and now is a good time to just relax and arrive. And if you have any intentions you want to set, it's a good time to do that as well. Hi, Johnny. Glad to see everybody is finding their way back, and the sun is shining. The sun actually came out here, so that is such a blessing here. All right, everyone. Everyone seems to be coming in. Just want to start off with a little bit of drumming because, as you can see in the title, this is called, what did I call this? Energy working. Energy working, transforming energy. I felt like this would be an appropriate topic because, that's kind of what we talk about a lot. But I just want to kind of talk about some of the techniques that I use to, what I'm calling work energy, move energy. Because I don't know how you guys, I'm curious to know how you guys are feeling with this beautiful spring equinox. For me, I'm still feeling that, and just lots of really shifting energies. Honestly, for me personally, a lot of like intensity, a lot of purging, a lot of like deep. I've been experiencing a lot of like deep emotions, like strong energies in my body. It's really wild. So that's a lot of what I've been doing lately is, using some of the techniques and knowledge and wisdom I'm going to be using, or I have been using, to just keep this energy moving because, even though life on earth can be so intense, thankfully we have so many tools, so many things that we can do to work this energy, to move this energy and shift and transform this energy like alchemists, because we are truly all alchemists, we are all healers because, ultimately all healing is self-healing. So yeah, this is all about moving that energy and just things that I've been thinking about and learning. Eternal Truth says, feeling great. Have a trip to Costa Rica coming up on Friday. Oh my goodness, that sounds amazing. I hope you have so much fun. Really beautiful lands down there. I love it. I know that I am going to Florida this week, and I'm very excited for that. Got some really amazing cacao right here. It's so good. Arcade Alchemist, hello. Fasting for Lent, still going. Wow. Fasting is always, a deep experience. 6 inches of snow, been deep in the 3D all week. Cleaned the park. Yeah, Ash, man, I know that feeling. Didn't snow here, but it's been incredibly just like really gray. So yeah, the sun is just literally as soon as I started this video actually came out. So I can feel it shining through the window in my face. So that's nice. Hi, Nana Lay. Good day. Glad to hear it. Yeah. Oh man. Well, that's exciting. It'll be a fun experience. Experiencing a new country for the first time. That's awesome. Oh my goodness, I just want to send so much love and gratitude. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for just being you, for all your support, for your bravery, for your love. Just so much honor to all of you. You know, I'm always receiving that message of just reminding everyone how loved you really are. I feel like you can't remind yourself enough. All right, so where do you dive into this? Yeah. Well, I have 12, I believe, techniques here. I think actually 13. I don't know. There'll probably be all kinds of different techniques weaved in here. Just for, again, like working energy or moving energy. You know, if you've ever, maybe now or in the future, you know, you can use these tips if you ever, you know, we all have times in our life, it doesn't matter where you are in your journey, where, you know, you're coming into new levels of consciousness, and you might be feeling, I guess, like people call it purging. I feel like that's a good word for it. You know, I guess that's like an intense way of saying releasing, letting go of what no longer serves. You know, it's kind of like we're always, you know, similar to the moon cycle, we're always kind of endeavoring on this process of setting intentions of what we want to create, you know, individually and collectively, and building it up, you know, taking in that new energy, you know, taking in this light, taking in love, whatever it may be, wisdom, power, knowledge, joy, and manifesting, and also, you know, releasing, letting go of what no longer serves, letting go of fear and doubt, trauma, anger, you know, whatever it is that is holding you back, because, you know, we're all always creating, we're creator beings. So the beautiful thing about creating and manifesting is, you know, not it's the journey. It really is the journey. So it's like, again, we acquire, there's so many things when we're creating, and even just living life is a creation, because we are literally living art. You know, life itself really is an art. Everything we're doing and experiencing, you know, the way we're being in our lives. So we're always taking in these new energies. And naturally, you know, as we expand, as we evolve, we're also being asked to let go, you know, to release, you know, it's, you know, giving and receiving, yin and yang, you know, so working in harmony and balance with these energies is really, really fruitful. I think that's honestly it makes life way more enjoyable. Um, so yeah, I just want to encourage everyone. I feel like such a key to peace, honestly, is being able to, especially during maybe challenging moments of life, whether it's something, you know, physically challenging or energetically or both, there's a lot of wisdom and even nobility to be able to be in those maybe harsher experiences, heavier experiences when they arise, to be able to recognize them and move with them and through them and transform, you know, true transformation. I feel like that's just, you know, it's such a strong theme right now, at least for me, and I feel like for many. um, so yeah, this is kind of about just challenges arise, you already know how to work energy, so it doesn't have to be so hard, versus if you're already in the thick of it. You know, sometimes it can be a little more challenging, but that's the whole point though, right? Is that's what I'm saying is, you know, learning how to observe these challenges with as much love and grace as possible. You know, it's like we're really expanding so much. And a few things before I get into some specific tips, specific tools that, you know, I use. You know, I just want to talk about, again, of course, like the basics of allowing and surrendering. Again, I did talk about this in my last video, but I feel like it's just such a reminder, because sometimes it can feel like, how can I let go anymore? It's like it's like on this ascension journey, we truly are asked to let go of so much, so much attachments, stories, thoughts, emotional baggage, who we think we are, what we think we're supposed to be doing, what we think we need to be successful or happy. Um, it's a lot. It really is a lot. It's continual because we're always learning. We really are always learning. So I really feel like ultimately it's a process of observing it, observing whatever you're in. And this doesn't always just have to, this, I guess I'm gearing this more towards challenging things, but it doesn't just have to be challenging things. It can be anything. Is observing, observing from like your higher self, observing from a higher state, you know, what am I doing? How am I feeling? What am I thinking? These are just, when you come into this higher state, that's what you're able to see. You're not just identifying with your thoughts. You're not immediately identifying with your emotions because you're not these things. You're just feeling these things and you're feeling them for a reason. But you're not these things. So when you come to the higher observation, you're immediately literally coming from a higher state of consciousness because you're observing, you're being the observer, and it's kind of like you're looking down at your human and you're saying, okay, maybe um, maybe I'm sad, or maybe I don't know, apathetic, or whatever it is. Again, I don't know why I'm just talking more about challenges right now, but I just feel like that's kind of like where a lot of us run into a lot more resistance, because obviously when we feel joy, when we feel peace, that's very natural. Often, most of the time, we don't have a knee-jerk reaction to those emotions, but when we have these challenges like doubt or fear or whatever come up, that's often when we can have knee-jerk reactions, and that's when we actually can introduce resistance, which is funny because the resistance is actually what um, makes everything so much harder because that's when we get into like these feedback loops, when we have resistance towards what is, simply what am I feeling, what is arising. So that's, I guess, like always the first step is observing it from a higher perspective, just seeing it for what it is. And I know sometimes this is painful for people because they see it, they're like, okay, well, yeah, why do I have doubt? I have doubt, all right, whatever it is. But again, as soon as you observe it, you're already that much closer to transforming it, because you have to see what you're in. You know what I mean? It's like it's like you're making the unconscious conscious. So if you're not even conscious of it, it's really hard sometimes to transmute it into that alchemical gold. But once you see it, okay, you're aware of it. You know, so remember to be so gracious with yourself and so patient and compassionate with yourself. All of these things are so normal. These are things we all go through. It doesn't matter how spiritually advanced you are, someone is, they're always going to be, you know, transforming. They're always going to be transforming. It's just the archetype of life, especially life on earth. So first step is, again, observing and and surrendering, like letting it be okay, like allowing it to be okay, because that's how you start to let go of that resistance. It's okay. It's okay to feel whatever you're feeling. When we think it's not okay to feel what we're feeling, again, that's, we get resistance and we get in that feedback loop, because it's like, I'm feeling this way, I shouldn't be feeling this way. I'm feeling this way, I don't want to feel this way. I'm feeling this way, but I shouldn't be. You know what I mean? So that's a loop. So I'm feeling this way. Okay, right on. We're feeling this way. Okay, let me just feel this, because it's not the death of me. It's not the end of me. It's not permanent. It's just a feeling and or a thought or both. Whatever the experience is. So observing it, surrendering to it, and then transforming it. And this is when I think of fire or the violet flame. The violet flame is a very powerful tool, using for example, the violet flame as an ethereal fire, or even, if you can, if you're capable, light a candle or go get a bonfire, go on a bonfire, because that fire energy is the most transmutive force that I'm aware of. So that's what I think of a lot of times when it's time to transform. I think of fire. Again, whether literally or ethereally. So you can use like the violet flame, for example, to start transmuting, because you ultimately, transmutation is just the process of, taking something and turning it into something else. For example, like ancient alchemists taking metal and transforming it into gold. And this is, if you're familiar with like the Scorpio energy, this is why the Scorpio energy is so powerful, because it's about going, this is what we do here, is we go into these depths. These depths are deep. The roots of the tree can be really dense, really dark, but you don't have to be stuck there or fear that place. It's you're because it's that energy. When you have that, and again, maybe it's sadness, maybe it's grief, maybe it's guilt, maybe it's pain of any kind, but your process of literally transforming that by seeing it again, surrendering to it, learning from it, having reverence for it, whatever it is you're going through, seeing what it is, and learning the spiritual lessons that it contains, because it always contains incredible nuggets of gold that you're not going to get anywhere else. That's why it's so important to have these experiences, because they really help you to expand so much. There's a saying that I really try to integrate into my life, that nothing is happening to me, it's happening for me. That's truly the organic path, because everything that is arising is meant to accelerate you even further, even though sometimes the ego doesn't feel that way, because again, it's like, it seems challenging, because again, on this ascension path, all your shit is going to come up. It doesn't matter who you are, all this stuff is going to come up from these roots, from the depth. So again, that's what transformation is. It's, taking these things, again, whether it's sadness, loneliness, anger, confusion, whatever it may be, and literally transforming it into gold, bringing it, shining that loving light from the branches of the tree of life, from the heights of your spirit, from the heights of eternity. It's literally like the tree of life, as above, so below. So taking that, high energy, and that's how we literally transform this dark things into the most powerful strength and wisdom and love and beauty, all of these things that we really do crave. So just a reminder, to start seeing these things as opportunities for that. And that's a reminder to myself as well, because I know sometimes, it can be hard. So yeah, so that's kind of what, just to conclude, that is like observing it, surrendering, transforming it, and then I would even add on that is like, I guess, amplifying it, bringing in that love light, really, really bringing in that love light, to just fill you up and charge you and shine. It's just so beautiful. So, yes, that said, I'm going to go into this list now. And thank you so much, Eternal Truth. I'm so grateful. Thank you for that super chat. And I'm happy that you are also seeing the beauty of energy work. Yeah, that's funny. I just saw Arcade Alchemist, as above, so below. Literally. Exactly. But your name is Alchemist, so. The spiritual path is a humbling one. Indeed. It really is. Beautiful. Lion or Light Club. The one rule of Light Club is to always talk about Light Club. You know what's so funny, Ashman, is I literally saw Lion Club. I swear. when you wrote that. That's funny. Hello, Shat Briggs. All right. So let's see, where to even begin with this? There's so many things, we're so blessed with so many tools. Um, where to begin? I guess the first one is sound. I truly think sound is such a powerful force. It's like an organic technology. I think sound is gonna really, really, like sound and music, sacred sound, voice, singing, chanting, again, sound technology, all of these things I think are going to be a really big part of the ascension. It's just, everything is vibration, right? And sound is so powerful. So sound is a really powerful way to work energy, to move energy in really any way. There's so many examples I can give. I encourage everyone to just get creative with this, but you know making sound, there's something called somatic sounding I've talked about, where you go, you know you just kind of go into like meditation a little bit and feel, relax into your body and feel, whatever's going on in your body and give sound to it. It doesn't have to be pretty. Trust me, a lot of times, especially if you're doing energy work and you're healing, most likely it won't be pretty. But it doesn't have to be pretty because it's not, at that point, it's more just about releasing the sound. It might be even like growling or like guttural sounds. Um, but it's like in this case, it's more about releasing emotion because again, emotion is energy in motion. Uh, we're not really taught how to deal with our emotions, so it's so important to continually to learn, especially, if you're like me and you have a lot of emotions, and it's like you really got to learn how to um, embrace that sensitivity and turn it into art, turn it into creativity, turn it into gold. That's really what it is. So sound and music, again, maybe even just listening to music you love, any type of music, as long as it's truly inspiring and uplifting to you in that moment. Um, Listening to music, making music, doesn't even matter if you think you're a musician or not. I promise you, if you start banging on a drum, you're gonna. I just think you're gonna start feeling better. I don't know. I don't think it matters who you are. You know, Banging on a drum, just that act alone. I mean, that's like how like the ancients literally used to like basically like banish away negative spirits and stuff because that pounding of the drum, it's powerful, you know? So that literally will start to get that energy moving. You want to get that energy moving, you want to get that energy flowing. But any instrument, any sound, even just some spoons, I really encourage everyone to start tapping into sound, because sound also, the thing about sound is it's all about intention. So whatever intention you're holding and having when you're creating a sound, whether it's your voice or an instrument, it's like you're literally giving it a voice. It's like a signature. So that's a really powerful way, especially again if you're feeling like really deep emotions, again, sadness, anger, fear. Literally just like give it a voice. It might sound crazy, um, and whatever comes out, but I promise you it's going to be such a release, and that's really what we need. I think, again, in these times where things are so intense, it's like you got to have methods of knowing how you can release energy, creatively and safely and efficiently. So yeah, sound, music, chanting, anything, get creative. And that kind of leads right into the next one, which goes hand in hand, which is movement medicine. Moving, dancing. It doesn't matter who you are. If you're shy, even just doing it in by yourself, like, I swear, man, you can like exercise demons from ecstatic dance. Especially finding some music that you really, really love or feel at that moment. Even if you think it's not spiritual music, it doesn't matter. It's like if you can channel and release your energy in an uplifting way, then that's amazing. Just the other day, actually, it's, and sometimes I just get these random calls to these random songs. Like, I was just feeling like honestly like really angsty, and I had to put on Thunderstruck by AC/DC. Don't judge me, or do, whatever. But literally, like, I played that song and I like danced so hard to that, and I literally felt like such a release. It's crazy. So I don't know. Something about that, just dancing and movement, just literally shake it off. Like, you guys, you gotta literally shake this energy off sometimes. Like, when it gets really intense, you have to shake it off. I don't know what else to say. You get your heart beat up, shake this energy off, because your body is such a, I mean, it's such a powerful conductor of energy. Literally, that's what you're doing when you're dancing. You know what I mean? It's like you're doing energy work. That's literally how I see it. Whether you're shaking and releasing, or you're pulling energy in, or you're, trying to be, I guess, somewhat intentional with your movement, with how you're moving your hands or your legs or your hips. It's all very symbolic. And everyone has their own unique sound, everyone has their own unique dancing. I feel like this really strong pull to, like, really, in a way, like, rebel against all this stuff in the entertainment industry. Not to knock any talent, not to knock, beautiful classical talent. I think we should all strive for real beauty, and not just like weird, degenerate, postmodern like stuff. Like, I feel like that, we should strive towards beauty, but not but I should say, and also embracing your unique originality, because the more you can hone in on your own unique originality, whether it's sound or dance or something else, whatever you're called to, really hone in on that and find your unique talents, because it's actually your uniqueness, your authenticity, that's really gonna shine. It's really gonna shine. It's like not comparing, not comparing yourself to others, not comparing, especially not comparing yourself to all this entertainment stuff that we've been inundated with. Oh, well, I can't dance like that person, or I can't sing like that person, or whatever it is. That's not what it's about. That's never been truly what dancing and music is about. These are very sacred things. It's not just about looking pretty or sexy. Not knocking that. That's fine. That's great. That's really awesome. But I don't know. That's just my tirade, I guess, because it's like I feel like so many people hold themselves back from expressing themselves, when self-expression, that's truly the highest way, in my opinion, to release and move energy and create energy. And you have to really play, you have to really play, be playful with these kinds of things, and allow your inner child to come out and dance, even if you think it looks awkward or weird, or sing even if you think it sounds awkward or weird. Like, this is how we literally release a lot of etheric energy, through our voice, again, through our body, through our movement, these types of things. It's not just for professionals, it's for everyone. And the conclusion I'm trying to make is, the more you allow yourself to do that and make mistakes, even if it seems awkward, but you just keep going, you're going to find your own groove. And that's what every incredible, in this case, dancer or musician, every incredible artist, that is how they've accomplished it. It's because they weren't scared to be original. Because that's what our world so desperately needs. So much. Again, I'm speaking on art, but you can take this for anything, because really everything is an art. The world is like really craving like real original stuff, and we just keep getting, like, from the mainstream, just like this regurgitated stuff with like not much soul. um I guess I really am getting deep with this one, but it's true, but so those people who are brave enough to play and go into their authenticity and keep going, those are truly I think those are the people that are changing the world, for the greater good, and are going to continue to change the world. A lot of courage, a lot of bravery in that. But that's a good place to start. Just look at it, if this is new for you, honestly, you can look at this stuff as like, it's like, I don't know if I want to say therapy, but it really is just like such a release, you know, release of energy, release of stress, release of tension. And then also, starting to get creative and realizing what you can do. Again, bringing out your inner child to play, because that's what many of us, really all of us, really need as well, is as far as our healing journey, is like really starting to recognize our inner child, because in this society we're taught to pretty much abandon that inner child. But really it's that inner child that has so much of our creativity, so much of our genius, so much of our innocence, so much of our love is in that inner child. So it's important for us to find ways to reconnect with that. So let's see. Another the next one, of course, I talk about this all the time, but nature, sun, being in the sun. I've told that so many times. The sun seriously just heals my energy so much. I'm so grateful for it. So that's another thing you can do, is if you have the options to be in the sun, put your feet on the ground. Really does help. Yeah. And then another one is writing. Writing. I don't know how people get by without writing. I'm such a writer. I really am. I've always been that way. Writing anything. There's no wrong way. Again, you can literally write anything. And again, this is about expressing yourself, about releasing, something about a pen and a paper. You can do magic. Literally. I mean, how incredible it is, honestly, that we can read and write. What a gift. So, writing, whether you're just writing your feelings, your thoughts, um, poetry, writing poetry. Anyone can write poetry, you know? That is so profound and beautiful, to write poetry. Again, how much people hold themselves back. Well, I'm not a good writer. I'm not a good poet. The doubt, so much of these things, they're just trying to hold you back from expressing who you really are, which is what we really need. We need people expressing themselves, even if it is just to yourself. Even if you don't ever, share that poem with someone, I think it's still better to have written it. I think it's still better to have played, to, get your feet in the sand, get your hands dirty, and really allow yourself that play. I guess that's like the key that's coming out right now too, like really strong for whoever needs to hear this, is like creativity. It's so powerful, it's so important. I feel like if you haven't really gotten creative like that in a while, I really encourage you to. Again, in this case, I'm talking about releasing energy, working energy. Well, like that's a whole part of creativity. Whatever calls to your heart. Again, maybe it's sound, music, dance, art, drawing, writing, poetry, gardening, literally anything. But can you get really, really creative and really play, just for the sake of play? you know, because there's a magic in that. There's a joy in that. There's a bliss. There's an innocence in that. And that energy is actually like some of the highest energy that you can tap into, is that creative energy, because we are creative beings, created by, creative beings, infinitely. So creativity, is something that's so important. That's how you connect to really profound parts of yourself that, you know, that might be, truly a key into like some higher consciousness. So let's see. So yeah, again, writing, whether it's journaling, just writing how you feel, automatic writing is really awesome. That's how, people can start to like channel, whatever you heart desires, not judging yourself, not thinking about it so hard, just write, just being free, just, you know, without that inner critic. Just be free, just play, just play. And that's how you can, again, that's a really powerful way to work energy. Another side note is like when you're working energy, a lot of times, I'll just be upfront, the ego may not like it. The ego may be like, oh, why are you doing this? Again, that's what it is that often inhibits people from, being creative. It's like, oh, well, I can't do it, or I'm not good enough, or I'm not really much of an artist, or, and it's not even about that. At the end of the day, it's like we are all unique and original, and it's important for us to express ourselves, and again, whatever form we feel called to. I can't explain that enough. I think creativity is just such a blessing, and honestly, I really wouldn't be where I am today without it. So healing. So yes, sound, music, writing, movement, dance, art, creativity, breath, of course, breathing. Oh, just like filling your body with love and light. Another beautiful technique I've been really tapping into, and I've talked about this before. Physically, we have our physical heart is known to, um, it takes all that whatever dirty blood, toxins and stuff in the blood goes through the heart. The heart purifies and transforms it into beautiful, fresh blood for your body to thrive on. And I think that's beautiful because that's literally energetically how it is. Your heart center is love, which transforms the darkness. So, literally, sometimes I breathe in this energy, like, okay, saying I'm feeling some dense emotions. So, it's like breathing in that pain into my heart and letting it transform and breathing out peace. I know that might sound a little weird, but really it is so helpful because it really does transform that love in your heart. For me at least, immediately transforms whatever density I'm feeling. If I'm feeling sad or frustrated or whatever the case may be. Again, I observe it, I recognize it, I accept it, surrender, and I can literally, you can, come into a space of meditation and just, again, without resistance, because when what we resist persists, just and basically devour it, just basically let it in because then it can just move through you, let it in and let it go. And to me, that's what the heart, what I'm saying, symbolizing with the heart, literally though, not just symbolically, bringing that dense energy into your center of love, breathing it in and releasing it. So powerful what we can do. Working energy is incredible. So yeah, that's a really powerful technique as well. Breathing of any kind, you will find your own techniques on on your way. But again, like these are just powerful templates. Talked about the violet flame, earlier. Uh, Arcade Alchemist mentioned fasting. That's another good example. Fasting, because when you're fasting, your body doesn't have to work so hard to digest all that food, so it can just um, process things way faster. Not only physical toxins but also energetic toxins, like stuff. Again, that's why a lot of times when you fast, at first all this stuff comes up. You feel more irritated or you feel more whatever, but you get past that, you work that energy, however you can, maybe meditation, again, singing, movement, writing, work that energy like a boss. Like make it fun. Like that's what I mean. Like make it fun, like make it exciting if you can, uh, it's like riding a wave. It's very exciting. It's definitely thrilling. It is for me at least. Thrilling is definitely a good word for it. To see it from, I guess, a positive perspective. Being in the sun, if you have loved ones that you can turn to, that's always a blessing as well. I think it's important to deal with your emotions as much as you can through yourself first, because um, you know you definitely don't want to project stuff onto other people. You know what I mean? You definitely want to, if you can, like, that's something, I've really learned really strongly, is that you definitely want to, at least if you're triggered by someone, it's really important for you to come back and move your energy, work that energy, work those emotions as best as you can. For example, before you go and try to confront that person, it's very important, because if you project onto people, it's never going to go well for you. It's just not. When you project onto people, you're literally just like causing so much havoc, because um, you're trying to put this emotional energy on somebody else, and they're almost guaranteed going to throw it right back at you, and it's just going to be like this ping pong of like these horrible emotions. So it's really important to do your best to not project on people, and to, again, first, I know it can be a hard pill to swallow, but whatever your emotions are, whatever it is, take responsibility for it. Work that energy. It's like a game. It's like a game, like that's how you can see it. It's like a roller coaster. It's like, whoo, um and then confront that. But if you're going through something, you're not triggered by someone, but you do have loving people you can confide in, you can turn to, then that's really beautiful as well. That's really helpful, because um that's, it's a middle path. It's like, on one hand, we all have to be able to stand in our own corner, and it's very essential we um are sovereign. You have to have that sovereignty. And at the same time, no one's going to do this alone. We're not meant to just be totally alone. It's like, humans truly are social creatures. We are all connected. When we come together, amazing things happen. And that's something I've honestly been learning recently, is like, um, you know, we all need support. We all need support. We all need support from time to time. And for me, I think growing up, I learned to be really, really independent. Um, and lately I've been learning, again, there's such power in that independence. I wouldn't change that, but at the same time, it's okay. It's beyond okay. It's actually powerful when you can willingly open up to people who are safe, of course, people you really can trust, and get that support and support others and be supported. I feel like that's moving into this 5D community, and even just emotional support. That goes such a long way. I think that's a big reason of why, we all come together. It's like, sometimes the spiritual path can be quite lonely. So even just, being in the presence, even just hearing other people's stories, even just being heard, being able to share your story, such powerful healing and strength in that. I think it can be hard for people to ask for help. A lot of people, it's really hard for them to ask for help. And I understand, because I'm people. I understand. But I've just been learning recently, like, it's okay. It really is okay to ask for help, as long as you can trust that person. And again, asking for help from God, from source, from your angels, your spirit guides, that's something that, for me, I'm always having to do, because it's like, they're just able to help so much. So that's another thing I wanted to mention. Is that everything? I did write down prayer. Um, and this can be like how people think of, like, classically as praying, I mean. But again, to me, like, anything can be a prayer. Singing a song, dancing, like I said before, dancing is praying with your whole body. It's like, that's why, like, sometimes I feel like I'm like, we're dancing for our lives out here. we're playing music for our lives out here. It's so powerful. So just to recap that real quick, again, working this energy, the ways we can work this energy when we're feeling, again, this is more specifically about navigating challenges with grace when we're feeling intense emotions arise. again, I'm just being really open and honest about all this stuff because I think we have to be at this point, right? Um, learning how to work that energy, move that energy. So again, breathing, meditating, feeling is healing. So feeling it without resistance, writing, journaling, poetry, drawing, music, singing, dancing, chanting, speaking, going into nature, um, creativity, fasting, eating healthy, letting go of these processed foods. You guys, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling so sensitive anymore that like I'm not gonna lie, I used to be able to get away with some of these processed foods a little bit, but I feel like anymore, it's like my body is just like, like these processed foods just like weigh me down. So that might be another thing to think about. Um, yeah, crystals, that's another thing that you can do. And you can also, don't forget it, you can weave any slash all of these practices together, and make your own. But, these crystals are really beautiful, like for amplifying energy, healing energy, helpful energy. So that's beautiful. Yeah. And so many beautiful things in the chat I already know. And feel free, if you haven't already, to just share what do you do? What do you guys do to get that energy moving? If you're feeling, maybe if somebody is feeling stagnant or stuck, or if someone's feeling overwhelmed with all of this energy, what would you say? What would you recommend? How do you move energy? Because to me, that's just, you got to work that energy, right? Again, seemingly paradoxically, working that energy on one hand, but also realizing everything is okay on the other hand as well. It's okay to feel what you're feeling. Nothing is wrong with you. I think that can be a huge thing, like in the healing community sometimes is, like we're always going to be growing and expanding. You're never going to be like done. So don't be discouraged by that. You're still beautiful just as you are. You are a living organism. You are a creation of God. You literally are expanding every moment. So you're always going to be learning, and even through this ascension, it's kind of like a wave. It doesn't matter who you are. You're always going to be kind of going on these little like ascension, descension, because that's just kind of, the energy. In my experience, it's not something to be discouraged by or afraid of. I think the more you try to cling to like the positive, the more you'll actually experience the negative, because you're trying to have that attachment, you're trying to cling to something. So that's why, from my experience, I encourage just riding the wave and remembering, it feels great to be up in this high blissful states for sure. I'm not going to argue with that. I love that. We all love that. That's what reminds us of home, you know? But when we're down in these lower timelines or in these lower states, really meaningful work is happening, because that's when we're getting those nuggets that we're going to transform into gold. And that's what really builds our character. And beyond that, that's what truly makes us great. Um, yeah. So, and that's a big reason of why we came to Earth in the first place, to experience the contrast, to experience these things, and to assist humanity out of the most treacherous dark hole. So the way I see it, it's been shown to me very, very strongly many times, is a lot of times, um, our higher selves, it's like we'll actually go into the lower timelines so that we can transform them and come up out of them. And that benefits not only us, but all around us and the whole collective, because you're creating blueprints for people to pull and self-heal themselves out of those things that, you know what I mean? That's why we're here. That's why, what people call light workers, that's literally why we're doing what we're doing, because we're literally creating these templates, these souls of light came here because they, basically knew and vowed to come here and transform. Because going into this insane low levels of density and then being able to ascend out of the light, thousands and thousands and thousands of souls, you're literally creating a template so that other souls that maybe were stuck and they couldn't do it, now they can do it, because now there's energetic templates, and now there's high states of consciousness just being and existing and walking around the earth that is literally uplifting them. So that's why we have to go back to like that primary message that your presence alone is enough. Your presence alone is your purpose. We all want to do great things, right? We all want to, discover ourselves and our gifts and be the greatest we can be. And there is nobility in that. And I think that's, what we're supposed to be doing. But also, again, that middle path, seeming paradox, but, just how it works, reaching for that expansion and those heights, but also recognizing that we are whole and complete as we are now. You're already whole and complete. If you keep perceiving yourself as messed up and broken, you're manifesting that reality, So that's kind of the paradox. That's something that I think people can fall into. Like, it's kind of like a trap, in the healing community. So that's just something to be aware of. Embrace yourself now, because again, this is like the paradox is like, you're never going to be perfect. And you literally are already perfect because that's how you were created, So it's incredible. What a beautiful life. What a beautiful experience. Well, how beautiful it is that we're all together. I got to say too, I am so grateful for you guys. I'm so grateful for my soul family showing up, the ones that I know and the ones that I don't even know, or don't know yet. It's so incredible to be on this journey together. I think for many of us, this has been a pretty lonely path. It has been a path of solitude, and we really had to put in that work in this density. But so to me, it feels so beautiful to be going through this together. All in our own way, of course. It's truly incredible. It's like my friend said. It's a really beautiful analogy of like, it's kind of like you're traveling in a foreign country and you don't speak the language and you don't know the culture, but if you're with your friends, it makes it a lot better. It makes it a lot better. So let me just tune in with what these beautiful comments are saying. I've just been talking away. This cacao. Hello, Leah. Good to see you here. Hi, Richard, Liminal Mind. Ravel to expand. Thank you. Beautiful. That's awesome, Liminal Mind. Moving more and more into daily shielding, protective energy work. So powerful, so good. Having that beautiful love, ether energy around you. I'm saying, you guys, I've been doing this for a little over a year now, shielding with, love light, creating love light force fields with strong intentions, with myself and my family and my home and whatnot, my land. It literally feels like another dimension. It really feels like another dimension. And I don't even realize it until, like, I don't know. It's just crazy. Like, I feel like I'm in another dimension. It just feels so high vibrational. And I only say this because this is the power. This is the power we have. This is why we have to activate our imagination and get creative and try new things, try energy work. It doesn't matter who you are, even if you think like you're not an energy worker, we all are. So try these things and truly experiment with them. Because again, I really feel like this is like another dimension. and I just kind of get accustomed to it. But sometimes, you know, when I go, it's like then I go to other places and I'm like, oh my gosh, like the density, like it's jarring. You know what I mean? Um, and I'm not complaining at all. I'm just saying, like, you really start to notice what you can do. You know, like I'm in this like incredible ethereal world, it feels like, and then and I almost forget that I'm in the matrix or whatever, and I go outside, or you know, not just go outside, but you know, I go out in these places and tune in with things, and honestly, I'm pretty amazed. I'm pretty amazed, and this is kind of just a side note on its own, but I don't know, it just coming up right now, but it's pretty amazing. I don't even know how to say it. It's just like this world is getting so multidimensional and quantum. I don't know if you guys see it and feel it, but I really do. I really, really do. You know, I'm curious how you guys see it. You know, I'm just sharing my experience, but um, yeah, it can be jarring. It's so intense. It feels so intense. You know, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I don't know if this is just my own bias, but like, I feel like the dark entities and energies. I honestly feel like they're desperate. So it's they're just it's just this weird thing I've been noticing where it's like they're just like taking sucker punches. It's like they're just taking sucker punches. Like, I don't know why I mentioned that, but I don't know. It's just noticing the different energies, I guess, and how these are unfolding. At least in my corner of the universe, I just noticed that it's actually really intense. Um, just I guess like again, it's just jarring. It's like I guess what I'm trying to say is like seeing what so many people are going through, you know, so many humans still just going through just these like hellish realities, you know, and so much love and compassion for them, and also respect and understanding that, you know, that's where they're at. And, you know, I'm not trying to control them or judge them for that. You know, we've all been in that, but I guess it's just, it makes me have a lot of compassion because it's like, man, I don't know if you guys feel that, but I'm like, it really is like shocking sometimes. It's like, oh my God, people are really living in some serious density, but it's like normal for them, you know? Like to me, it feels like hell, but like for them, it's like, that's just their normal reality. Crazy. I guess what I'm trying to say is like, it's always kind of been like that, but I feel like it's just becoming so blatant now. And it's so like astrally potent. It's like, it's just intense. It's a lot, you know, and you can see like the deeper layers of what's going on. It's really incredible. Hello, Art of Arts. Yeah, darkness is working hard to awaken folks to the light. I would say so. If you are depressed, that is telling you to get that energy moving. Do something quite random on purpose. Get a little wild. Anomalous actions move energy. Do something novel today. So well said. Yeah, so well said. You know, that's another example. Do something you've never done before. Go out of your comfort zone. You know, you never know what's going to happen. So awesome. I've just been talking away, and you guys are sending all this beautiful comments. Yeah. Wait, where'd I go? Oh, okay. Hey, Cosmic Cat. Good to see you. So many beautiful comments. Oh my god, I love you all so much. Leah Templar says, "Ascension isn't upward; it is expansive outward in all directions." Yes, I get like a really good visual from that. That is so true. You know, it reminds me kind of like the Taurus field. It's like, shoo, like your heights are getting higher and your depths are getting lower. Honestly, is what it feels like, and you're just moving like outward and inward. It's like, whoa, it's trippy. It really is trippy. Thank you, Luminal Mind. Thank you so much for that beautiful super chat. I appreciate you so much. Interesting. Do you know Montagraph? He's the one who mentioned your channel to me. Interesting. I don't. I'll have to look into that. Appreciate him. Beautiful. Oh my goodness. Thank you guys so much for again being here. I just have so much gratitude. It really is such a blessing to be here and share and receive and give and just be a part of this community of light. I'm very much looking forward to our expansion for all of us, all the things that are coming. As I mentioned before, I am working on an album. I know you guys are talking. I know the Dobermans has some amazing music, and Leah Templar was just talking about her music, her singing and playing guitar. That's really exciting. Writing music, I think that's so powerful. So I'm really, really excited. I haven't spoke on it too much yet because I don't know. I'm still in the process of it, I am about to be finishing it up. I'm making the final recordings, and I'm really, really excited. I really, really am excited to share these songs with you guys. I really put so much love into them. I mean, honestly, it feels like I didn't. It feels like It feels like that. It just came through me, honestly, and it's very much a birthing experience, you know. And again, you know, that's just what I've been learning, you know, in this example, like creating this album. And I'm definitely gonna talk more about this, you know, once I'm ready to release it, which will definitely be, I would say, at least in the next couple months. Um, that artist's journey, again, like whether you're working on a specific art project or you're just the art of life, you know, take this however you will. But doing like this, working on this album and like having to, you know, do so much uh, creative work, it's such a blessing. It truly feels like birthing. Like it's a lot of pleasure, but it's a lot of pain. It's just such an interesting experience. But again, it just gives me appreciation for all these different parts of life, and you know, realizing that that's again part of just the human journey for all of us. You know, all of us, that everything you're creating. I mean, it really is like birthing. You know, it's like a mother birthing a child. You know, like, you know, just carrying a child. You know, that's not something I've done at this point yet in my life, but you know, carrying a child, you know, I can imagine what a beautiful experience, what a pleasurable experience, but I'm sure also, you know, challenging experience, especially like the birthing pains. That's kind of what it feels like to create sometimes. Like, I just want to assure people, like, that really is so normal. I think it's like, you know, many a times we can have knee-jerk reactions to that something is wrong or we're being punished, but really, um, it's that those challenges that are going to bring you to like the that prana that you really need. You know, it's going to bring you to what you really need. And when you birth, you know, when you birth that baby, when you birth that art, when you birth that creation, that manifestation, whatever it is that not the most beautiful experience ever? You know, again, whatever it is for you, whatever that case may be for you, how beautiful is that? So worth it. So worth it. Such a journey. I mean, it really is such a journey. And it always is blowing my mind. It really is. That's why, I think it's so important to stay humble. Because wow, life is really interesting. It's beautiful. It's incredible. Every single part of it, every single facet and feeling and up and down and side to side, I think it's important to come back to just the heart, the love, wow, the presence. God is literally right here. God is literally right here, eternally, always, right here, in your voice, in your aliveness, in your beingness, in everything. So that's truly grounding, truly beautiful information. Let's see if there's anything else before we conclude this beautiful meeting. Lots more to come. Lots more to come. You know, I'm very excited. I think that's it. I don't really feel like anything else is coming up right now. I feel like I've definitely had this blessed opportunity to share a lot. So thank you again for listening. Thank you, Leah. I am excited to share it. All right. All right. Well, I guess we gotta have a little conclusion though, just to integrate this energy. Maybe a little prayer even. Taking a moment to breathe. Feeling all this beautiful light, blessing your body, blessing your mind, blessing your heart, blessing your soul. Take a deep breath right now. There we go. Gratitude for this moment, this experience, this love, this community, this knowledge, this wisdom, this thrilling ride that is life. Sending love to all of you. Sending love to all of humanity. So much love to humanity. Sending love to all of the animals, all the beautiful pets, animal companions that bless us and help us so much, as well as all the beautiful wild animals all over the world. God bless these beautiful beings, truly helping us so much more than we know. God bless the nature, the trees, the plants, the herbs, the vegetation, the dirt, crystals, the earth. Sending so much love, the sun, the moon, the stars, to our beautiful spirit guides, to our beautiful ancestors, divine feminine, divine masculine, to all the beautiful children. God bless the children, the fires, the waters, the earths, the airs, the ether. Sending all the love to all the beauties of creation, honoring them. Calling in love and peace and understanding and clarity, gratitude and joy, understanding. Calling in freedom, sovereignty, creativity, inspiration, community, 5D communities. Calling in the divine will, God's will, the highest will for all life. to thrive in harmony, in love, in peace, and joy. May we continue to release all that no longer serves us today. May we continue to breathe in all these high energies that will serve us. May we continue to love and support ourselves and each other. May we continue to work this energy like benevolent spiritual gangsters that we are. May we continue to have fun while doing it. Have fun on the roller coaster of life, on the ups and downs and the whirly whirls and the loop-de-loops. May we be able to find humor and grace and peace in all of these experiences unconditionally. May we continue to discover ourselves and our gifts and share them unapologetically for the greatest good of humanity. May we continue to expand and create for the greatest and highest good of all. And so it is. All my love to all of you blessed souls. Happy Moon Day. Have an amazing week. Go do something fun. Go do something playful, That's what I say. But do whatever you want. Do whatever you feel is right. But don't be afraid to get creative and play and be silly and weird and just be you. Just be you. All right. I love you all so much. So hard to leave. So hard to leave. Thank you all so much again. All my love to you. Have a blessed day, blessed week. I'll see you next Monday.